Not
Good
good.
evening and welcome to another edition of African Americans Ain't Africans, the thing show that proves without a shadow of a doubt that the so-called African American didn't find him and herself in the trunk of a ship on their way to America, fantasizing about being an American like all these other immigrants are doing. I'm serious. It's getting redundant. My guest with me, as always, on Friday night. Sorry about last Friday night, but we want to have a brother on to talk about the trip to the mounds in Atlanta next week. You guys should check it out. If you've never been to any of the mounds in America, you should check it out. You should check out what your people have done. Your people have left clues for you, what they have done. All you have to do is go check them out, and you'll feel that energy flow through you. You should try it sometime. Tonight's podcast is going to be Indians need to stop giving consent. And here to bring this to fruition is Lisa from the Acamax, Lyron Cypress. What's going on, Lisa? Oh, she's there. She's just hiding. Daphne, how you doing? John Nick, R. Smith, Copper Color Lifestyle. I hope you guys this evening is fine. And I hope you guys ain't celebrating that Juneteenth shit. You see, you vote this Biden and this Harris in, and since Negroes are always saying that nobody giving us nothing, these people gave you a holiday, another holiday, like all the other holidays have helped you in the past. Now they're giving you Juneteenth, which is everybody knows the story of Juneteenth. Negroes just worked overtime for free. And now you get a holiday for it. And you're happy. And see, down here in the South, this is the biggest day of the year. Can you imagine that? It's the biggest day of the year. And you have immigrants coming over taking your place. And you're celebrating. Please, somebody in the audience, somebody in the group, please explain that. Explain it. Explain why the African American is always doing some dumb shit. Always. It never fails. Your elders don't tell you the stories of when went down. So now you're left with what's going on and you don't even know what's going on. Oh, because your elders wasn't called African Americans when they were 30. They were called what? Negro, color. You see how people are easy to slide in and claim what's yours? Because you don't claim it. You'll say that Frederick Douglass is an African American. When he never uttered the term. Never even heard the term. This is what you let other people come in and do to you. And you don't care. You get, and then this is the cold part about it. Then you go try to tell somebody. Don't you find that strange? That every time somebody tells you some truth, whether it's about LGBTQ or whatever, you want to go tell somebody when you know it's killing you off. Gay people don't have babies, but you champion it. You say it's okay. I was talking to this group today, and they were asking, why do everybody hate Tyler Perry? Because he teaches boys to be girls. Well, how do you ask a question like, and they got the nerve to cry? Here go Miss Acamac.
I'm back.
What's going on, beautiful? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. How's everybody out there? Sorry, I had some technical difficulties. Oh,
Po,
we're
po,
giving.
chick.
What's wrong? What's wrong with these people out here? What's wrong with these Indians? These Negroes, African Americans, whatever they are. We 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 always give consent. That's all we've been doing for the past 20 years is giving consent. 30 years, 40 years of
50,
consent, right? Right?
50
Why do we
years.
how 50 years, 50 years, let's say 50 years, giving consent. How do we every time we are silent, we are giving consent, right? Have you
You're
have,
ab-
have, you- have you thought, has anybody ever thought of that? See, I think that think that we can sit around and just be quiet and I'm just not gonna say nothing. You hear people say that all the time. Oh, I'm just not gonna say nothing,
yeah.
right? But do you realize every time you say, I'm just not going to say nothing, you're saying yes? You're saying yes, even if you disagree. It is consent by omission. See, your silence is actually consenting. If you're not saying no, if you're not protesting, then you're consenting. Do you realize that? I don't think people know that.
Yeah, they do.
Do they?
Because they do it to themselves all the time.
Tell me how they do it to themselves.
So if something happens in the community,
Mm-hmm.
they'll protest it. If they're not getting if they're not getting nothing from Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, they protest. What was that you showed me the
Mm.
other day about them having $850,000 for ex-slaves? What was that? A reparation stand?
Oh, they had a reparations march today or rally.
What was that?
What was that? I mean,
Complete.
this is the thing. That's not protesting. I don't know what that is because
Begging.
really, it's not even begging because you're not actually marching to. You're not actually petitioning Biden. You're not going to his rallies and speaking up. You're going and gathering a bunch of eyeballs at a daggone capitol with signs that ain't nobody paying attention to. So that's not even like that's not being a protesting. That's not even speaking up. So
Let me ask
I
you a
mean,
question.
what should have happened every time somebody does something, they should, you got to object to shit. Okay, you got this Office of the New Americans, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Is that okay? Is that okay? Do you understand all the daggone benefits that are going to be given to people when they get into this country and they're writing it into history right now as we're living? We are creating a devastating future for our people. And it's happening right now by us silently talking. We're having this whole daggone thing being a bill or whatever proposal. It's a bill. So this is happening right before our eyes. Meanwhile, you got all these people rallying for reparations when they should be protesting what they're giving away.
Do you think it's because the African American has been steered away from his original what they really are, that they think because the African American, I don't care what you think, what you say,
Mm,
they
right.
have to be the lamest brain people on planet, don't even know who they are. Do you think that them being trained away from who they are is part of the problem?
Yeah, because if they first of all, if people actually knew what we in this forum know, then they would organize themselves as Indians, and they know that that's the most powerful nationality that you can claim. And and then you wouldn't, and you can free yourself from all this subjection to all this stuff that they're doing, and put yourself on a whole different scale that they can't touch us on.
Yeah,
You think,
I see
talk
groups.
about being untouchable. We can make ourselves untouchable if we would get it together.
How come we can't see that? How come that isn't? I mean, that it's right in our faces. How come we don't see that?
I don't know that people actually understand actually the actual opportunity of actually working our nationality is. It's more powerful than anything anybody and on in this country has ever had. So anyway, so I'm talking, you was in that meeting. We were trying to organize people to form a confederacy, right? Form a confederacy so that all these indigenous people out here who know that their genealogy and done their work can have some place to go, all unified, wherever section of the country that you're in. You can claim who you are and have your rights, get your ID card, and we're all linked together, not chained together, but like paperclip together. We're all like linked together, you know. Everybody gets to do what they want to do if they already have an organization, but it links to organizations and links to daggone individuals that have like 5 and 6 different tribes that they belong to, and to being indigenous. You have that ability to actually claim your identity, and because we are unified and we have foundational nations that are actually within the whole entire confederacy to actually recognize us, then we are supported by actual history and genealogy from these foundations, and they recognize the whole bodies, everybody.
So,
And
is there any national, like the NAACP or groups like that, indigenous groups? Because I failed to run across one in the past 15 years. Any national groups that does what you say do? Because you can't be the only one who thought about this in the past 200 years.
I think people think about it, but people think about it and then they think small. You know what I mean? They think in terms of their little area and their friends and their little, they think in terms of that, right? The people they know, the people they come in contact with. And when you think like that, that's why you have all these little subgroups all over the place, 5 and 6 of them in Atlanta, or not in Atlanta, but yeah, probably, well, maybe, several in Georgia, and then you got, several in a couple of 2 or 3 and 4 or 5. I don't even know how many in Pennsylvania. And, you got all these different little tiny groups of people trying to organize indigenous people, but they're all disconnected. You can't get anything done without having a good number of you. And not only that, you can't get anything done with having a network. And when you actually organize, then you have a body, you have a network of people, right? Across the country that can get things done. That also, like, if something happens, you got backup. You see what I mean? And that's what needs to happen.
What do you think what do you think about the organizational skills that are missing? Because that seems for us to be the hardest thing to do.
I wouldn't, I don't know if I would say that. Well, what I would say is that, I don't know if I say that the skill is missing. I would say that, a lot of people don't want to put in the work. That's what I would say. I would say it's a lot of work besides everything that everybody has to do every day, and then besides your own responsibility, it is a big, it's work to try to even, think of doing something like this. But at the same time, it's really not that much work because a lot of the infrastructure is already there from everybody all organizing. It's just a matter of bringing everybody together. And I guess people just don't want to take the time to go hunting for people and trying to bring people together. I don't know why that is. I think the African American likes to talk a lot. I don't think they like to do very much, but sometimes, but I don't
Listen,
know why that is.
okay, check this out. This cat, Joe Biden, said when he got in office, he's going to bring 11 million illegals. He was going to give them amnesty, make them
Uh,
legal. Now, you heard that, right?
oh no, the whole bill that he has out, the two daggone bills that are coming out, oh, they got them laid out. They got benefits, they got protection, they got money coming to them. Yeah, they, for every working class job that they are going to fill when they come in this country, they are set up. They're set up. So
That's
that
one.
office of the new Americans, oh, it's like a golden carpet. They're gonna walk up on. They're gonna stomp all over our butts. Oh, they're gonna be the middle class, the upper class, the every class, and we ain't gonna have no class. And he already told you that because they're already casting spells, telling you you're worth less than $5. You're less than $5 worth of wealth or whatever. That, you know what? That's spell casting. And you know what? That's also some bullshit, right? You understand that that's some bullshit. I mean,
No,
because they say that about Boston and everything. That's insulting because there's a lot of very very well-to-do people in Boston. Everybody's not in the projects, and even some of them people in the projects ain't doing as bad as some people. They making more money in the projects than a lot of people across the country. So I mean, that's spell casting. Just like they said that, we were gonna die, we were dying of COVID. They're telling us we're gonna be broke as hell. They want us to be broke as hell. That's what he wants. That's what they want for us, right? So that's why they're saying it, so it can be a self-fulfilling prophecy. You understand how they use these words to cast spells upon us, and we just take it all in we just, yes, we believe it.
why isn't the African American? So what you were saying about Biden bringing all these illegals over, Kamala Harris bringing her million Indians over. With that being said, over a year ago, and also with the Negro being gentrified in all these cities, wouldn't you think that something would snap in the majority of the people? And when you say Indians, I'm saying you're talking about less than 5% of the people. Most people identify with what they're told to identify with. So if you see this, okay, here's an example. So when a tsunami is about to hit,
Yeah.
before the
Yes.
tsunami hits, what do the animals do?
They started running. They know in
They
advance.
they start preparing themselves for whatever.
Right.
And as a natural creature to the planet, a natural inhabitant to the planet, you would think the African American would do the same thing. But I guess that goes to my point. I think they've been cloned away from that. Because you would have to want to save yourself, your family, your children, whatever. You've seen this coming. All the churches would be talking about it. Hey, we got to
We got to prepare, right?
right.
No, no, because we have so many people that are so selfish and serving that no one is trying to look out really to prepare us for anything. Too many people are on the take. We got so many people on the take, and then we got the rest of the people that want to mindlessly think like everything's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right. Everybody wants to be all right. you know so they don't want to think about what's really going down, because you know what, that's just gonna mess with my vibe. you know that's I don't want to think about that. So in Copper Colored Lifestyle, I just saw she was talking about the H. She just also put out there that the H1B visas are ready for hire. That a lot of these jobs are, you know, immediately ready for hire for the people with these H1B visas. See, they already are are just geared up to flood our country with a bunch of immigrants. Why? Because as we wake up and know that this is our country, they want it to be fully occupied. They want to trash it. They want to trash it.
So all of you who are comfortable being in another country, all of you who are, you know, just watching the game, don't really care about what we're saying or you're not even thinking about it. The Indians
The,
gonna wake up.
the only allies that the Indians could actually get during this time are the actual rednecks. Because I can tell you, these old school and we have to also be careful about which white people we deal with, because you got to understand that all white people aren't original white people. A lot of these white people are 1920s, 1930s, 1950s white people. They're just recent immigrants too. But some of these foundational folks, some of these daggone old school colonialist white folks are gonna get screwed. They think that they're gonna be okay. They're not gonna be okay with this. This is not gonna be okay for them.
They're
So
talking
really,
about that now.
they are the only people that, as we organize ourselves as the actual Indians that we are, the daggone pilgrims, the daggone colonialists are the only people that are gonna feel the same kind of way that we could actually link up with and just and on against this stuff, because we're all gonna be in the same boat with that. They're not gonna really be better off. Not really, no.
Could you give us an example of how that looks?
What do you mean? Those are the colonialists? Oh,
Yeah,
us.
because because when you say we're going to have to partner up or we're going to have to become allies with some people, and when you say that, some people be like, well, why we gotta, they've been hating us all these years, they've been blah blah blah.
But we can bond in our disdain. We can bond in our current enemies. It doesn't mean you have to kumbaya, but sometimes when you're strategic, you link up on certain points.
I
You
hear you.
may not really vibe with each other, but on this account that we're both strongly against these immigrants and also strongly against these globalists they're going to have this agenda of making this place a daggone filthy, disgusting, perverted place with all this freeism and all this yesism. you know we actually agree on a lot of things, but that's what you do. You link up on that. You fight about the rest of the stuff later, right? That's how you use that situation. How would it look? It looks like this. I hate what these freaking globalists are doing. I hate both parties. They're both suck. They're both evil. They're both in cahoots together. I do too. I hate all this um, liberal bullshit that they're trying to throw down our throats, and perversion that they're trying to make normal. I do too. We have a lot those things in common. I can say we have those things in common, and
And
you can actually fight those things, as
I'm,
allies.
I'm yeah, because I'm looking at the other side of the fence, and one of the things that they going real hard for now is teaching that gay stuff in school.
They
They,
are, and
they,
and yes. And let me tell you, I know she says I don't think we have allies. Well, look, I mean, this is the thing. You can't be like, you got to figure out something, because let me tell you this. Right now, we ain't got shit organized, okay? And I'm trying to get people to get their shit organized, okay? So unless you got people organized, I don't think anybody needs to be fucking criticized and not a goddamn thing, okay? Unless you're doing work, don't say shit. Because really, there's a lot that needs to be done. And everybody got an opinion, but ain't nobody putting in no damn work. Put in work and then talk. Because really, we have to get organized. And then you could talk about whether or not we have allies or not. I'm trying to get people to get organized. And then I'm also, when I talk, because I get on the Clubhouse app and I talk to, these white conservative people, and we agree. We agree. And I can tell you this, if you have not lived your life to know that if you have a white person that's on your side, you got something going on, because they will sit up there and open up the wallet and they'll open up their time and they will actually be down for you. So don't be stupid. Sometimes you gotta, you can't, don't be dumb. Don't let your friggin' your anger or your racism get in the way of somebody helping your way. That's ridiculous. Because yeah, you need allies, because there's not that many of us not to have an ally. That's ridiculous.
You're absolutely right. And being that we are all chopped up in all these little groups.
And I can tell you, Lady PB, I ain't no footstool. And if you think we're footstools, that's what we're gonna be. You cannot think that you're a footstool. What the hell? I fucking ain't no footstool, okay? So no, we're not footstools. And yeah, you need allies. And are there good souls? Yes. Are there fucked up souls of all colors? Most of our daggone enemies are us. So I don't know who you're saying ain't allies, but there are allies out there. And they may not come in the complexion you think, but you will recognize them by what they do and how they act. And that's what I'm talking about. I don't care about anything else.
So do you see the African American, Black, Negro? Are you saying that that's just a wash, and we should just go on and start building on what we have?
Well, my whole thinking is that we got to get ourselves together as indigenous American Indians. That's the first and only primary thing we have to do right now, immediately. We have to get it together. Like if you get your genealogy together, we have to have standards. We have to actually know who we are, because now we got, people talking about the Black Europeans, which is adding confusion to the whole equation. I find that to be a lot of confusion that we don't need at this time at all. I really don't. I'm really mad that has become a part of the conversation, actually, because now you got this whole other entity you got to think about. Now people are being all mystified with their genealogy, and they're like, oh, I got this, the discovery. That's great. But guess what? They're coming for our heads. We don't have time to be whimsical. We got to get organized.
Do you see all these people coming for your land? Do you see you know what they really want to get on? And this is what we don't want to talk about. But this gonna hit your ass. What they're coming for is those national parks, because they're pristine. I mean, the land too, but those parks, check out all the parks, national parks in the States. They want them resources, baby. And like she said, we don't have the fucking time to be all whimsical and ooh.
No, we don't. And then to say that people that have the same fight and the same enemy can't be your allies, yet you got all these brown skinned people friggin' leading you all kinds of directions, putting you in the gutter. They're stepping on you the most. Who has your foot on your neck most? Your own damn people, the people that look like you, that maybe aren't you, or maybe you are one of those people. I don't know. But I know that the daggone people that look like me, who ride by me, who live by me, half of these people are the main ones oppressing me. They're the
Have.
main instruments of our daggone oppression. They're the overseers.
Yes, they
So
are.
how in the world? So how in the world are we acting like you're going to distinguish somebody as being a daggone ally or not by how they look? You better wake up and look a little deeper.
Check.
No, no. Let me tell you, the daggone so-called black African American didn't sit up there and say, "Oh yeah, Acamax. Oh, let me research you." Did daggone Hampton University come and reach out to the Acamax and make us a part of their school study? No, the University of Virginia did. You know what I'm saying? These Negro so-called African Americans are not actually your allies. They're not trying to help you up. They're
And never
right
have.
there.
And never.
They had the Indian school. They're right there. They're not doing anything for us. And I love Hampton. I'm not talking anything about Hampton. Hampton's a beautiful campus, a beautiful whatever. But I'm telling you that your own people aren't doing anything for you. So who are your damn allies? They're not. So if somebody from another area is going to come over and say, "Hey, can I give you some assistance? Can I bring some light to your plight? So can I give you some daggone assistance in your struggle?" And you're going to say no because they're not the right color. Is that what you're going to? So that means if you're drowning and somebody puts their hand out to you and rescue you from your, being bit by a shark or whatever, or drowning, you're going to say, "No, you're not the right color." Is that the way it works? I don't know. If a doctor is going to save your life, you're not going to go to them because they're not the right color. I'm sure you've been to a white doctor, right? Nurse, something. Like, just stop the bullshit. Just stop it. Stop being silly.
So,
That's just so stupid. Because you go to white doctors and you probably like them better than you like the damn African American one. And you have had white nurses and you probably prefer them, Susie Q, more than you like, Lyran. You know what I mean? So don't even try that. That's bullshit. That's just bullshit.
do you think all that? Do you think all that is a front just not to do anything?
People want to make excuses and they're not doing any work. I mean, I don't mind if you have an objection if you got the papers to prove and you got the trail to show that you put in the work and you've done shit. But people like to have sit there and put up all kind of blockades and haven't done anything. They putting up objections and haven't done anything. That's why we never get anywhere. Is those type of people, the people that have all these kind of naysay this and that ain't gonna work, that, and then then everybody gets at a stalemate because then you got so-and-so co-signing like in the chat. Oh, I agree with so. So then you got the whole room divided, and then what happens? Nothing. Nothing. That's how we don't win. This is exactly how we don't win. Because we got people that want to object on stupid shit and then they ain't got no solutions. They ain't putting in no work. And then you got a whole team of people that want to co-sign with the silliness and then nothing happens. Does that make sense? I don't even know. I just feel like I'm talking to myself because it should make sense.
Oh, it makes a lot of sense. Indians need to stop giving consent. What are some of the things that they give consent to that is just utterly ridiculous?
Like giving consent to that freaking daggone quarantine and those face masks and all, and they still walking around with these freaking masks on their face and their cars and walking around stores, even though the requirement is gone. They look crazy.
What the fuck is that?
You don't even have to wear a mask and you're still wearing it in the summer heat. What is that? Mind control.
You know what?
I can't take it.
This is what I'm saying. You know, a lot of people get pissed off at me because, listen, that is the dumbest shit. That's what I mean. The African American just won't get out of his way.
I can't with this. Why do we give consent to everything? Yes, shoot me in the arm. Yes, yes, yes. Whatever you say. Oh yeah, take away the Negro thing. Yes, take away Aunt Jemima. Yes, take away daggone all the teams with all the Indian symbols. Yes, yes, call me whatever you want to. Yes, call Tulsa daggone at Little Africa. Yes. Everything's being called Little Africa now. Everything's got Africa on it. You ain't saying nothing to me, nothing to them about it, but you're gonna say to me, oh, I got something to say when I say we need to go find some allies. We also in this fight that we have. Why? Because we can't get enough Indians to agree. So if you can't get enough Indians to agree, you need allies.
Wow. So you know that Cleveland Indian logo, that was a brother on there, and they wiping that out too. And we're and we still support these entities.
Right. Oh yeah, that's exactly right. We still give them our money. We're still giving them our money. We still watching them. We still watching their commercials and stuff. We're still doing all that. Buying stuff. Why? See, I mean, people, let me tell you something. We talk real bad about the 70s people, when the people that came up and they kind of forgot themselves and they just let anything, the white man taught them in the universities to be the standard of their lives. Yeah. We criticize them. But what I will say, what you must say about, the generation of your mother. Hi. That they did not give consent. They actually did say no to some things, which is good. I mean, they had a period of, just like, we are going to oppose things and we are going to voice it out. And then all of a sudden we just don't have that. It's not in us anymore. And maybe there's hope it'll come back, maybe. But right now we got people that all they want to do is get along, and all they want to do is say yes, and all they want to do is be like, oh well, or they want to disagree about stuff that don't make no sense to be disagreeing about. They want to disagree with the folks they need to be coming together with, but the folks they need to be fighting, they ain't got shit to say to. That's funny. You know what that is? That's cowardice. When you don't want to stand up to the bully, but you want to sit up there and beat up on your family. This weekend there was a birthday party with my grandson. I didn't tell you about this. And my oldest grandson is 6, going on 7 soon. And there was a friend of his dad's came to visit, right? And and this is and so he's like egging my grandson on to do push-ups. Like, oh, do push-ups. Come on, do push-ups for me. Do push-ups for me. And my grandson is getting increasingly annoyed by this, right? He's just getting increasingly agitated. And I could see his mouth poke out. Then I saw him turn a little bit red. And next thing you know, he said, no, I will not do a push-up for you, and slapped the man in the face. And I'm sitting there like, what? But, because I'm kind of proud, but you know what? It's wrong. And then the man slapped my child. And then I was like, what? But I didn't want to beat him down and create a ruckus. So, but then I was like, boy, my grandson manned up. Like he just like just slapped up and slapped a man, a grown ass man. And I was like, and he was like, I will not be bullied. And you know what I mean? I was like, dang, you know what I mean? And so then I was like,
how did that make you feel?
I feel proud that my grandson will not be bullied by anybody, anyone, really, because he was really inappropriate. How the man was really inappropriate. How he was doing.
He was an asshole.
He was an asshole, exactly. And you know, kids feel things. They sense how people are. You know what I mean? They know the energy of whence it's coming, right, whether it's out of someplace good or someplace negative. And he knew he's very intuitive. So I was like, and so I said, mother effer, don't you ever slap my grandson ever. You don't touch my child. I said, and not only that, I said, Carter, you don't hit anyone. He's never hit anyone. He's not a hitter. That's why I knew this was a very extenuous thing. I said, Carter, I said, you never hit first. I said, never hit first. I said, I mean, you know, walk away first. I said, but I know you were upset and I'm proud you stood up for yourself. But you understand if you hit first, you might get hit back. You learned that. You might get hit back.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I gotta move. Oh, here's go. Hold on. Oh, hold on. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sitting there in my car. Yeah. So, at the same time, you have to, you know, you want people to stand up for themselves. You want to not give consent. You want to not give consent, right? You want to say, you know, you want to stand strong on your principles. Okay, that's okay. You know, everybody's like, you know, everybody wants to be all polite and do what's right. And this is a very polite child. This is a very polite, well-mannered child. But when it comes to somebody bullying you, somebody standing on your rights, you have to stand against it, or else you are consenting. Period. Period. If you don't say no, then bitch, you're saying yes. You're saying yes.
It's just
so now we're taught that, everybody's supposed to predict what people mean. And me too. And maybe she said yes, but then she changed her mind and all this bullshit. Let me tell you something. Be clear about this. We have to be clear about who we are and take responsibility for our consent. Whether it's that you're implying consent by taking out your tampon, like robbing, what was that? The girl who was with Mike Tyson, you know, and all that craziness that went on to put him in jail. Whether you're implying consent with crazy shit like that, or implying consent by just being silent. Stop giving consent. Stop giving consent and then acting like somebody else is supposed to run and protect you. Somebody else is supposed to fight for you when you're giving consent. Oh, now I gotta get a shot in my arm. Now my life is all jacked up and I'm all sick and somebody feels sorry for me now. No, I don't, because you gave them consent. Oh, I had to do it because I had to keep my job. Well, why didn't you give them a notice to say, look, I am doing this under protest. You are threatening my job for this, and it is not your right to do that. You are actually coercing me to take a shot against my will. Why don't people give notice to their jobs when they try to coerce them? Why do they just take the shot? That's giving consent. If you walked into HR with a freaking letter telling them that it's against your will and I'm gonna hold you responsible for anything that happens to me, I don't care what the law says. You are responsible because you coerced me and you made me get it to keep this job.
And no, we're not doing that.
No, people are just saying, well, the job says so. Who are these idiots? You know the people you work with, they're stupid. You know, you talk about them all the time, how stupid they are, but yet when they tell you to do something that's even crazy and stupid, you go with it. You know good well those people don't care nothing about you. We talk about that all the time. People talk about that all the time at work. They don't care nothing about me, and they go, nah, nah, nah. But yet you're gonna do something that is gonna actually harm you. You give consent.
Yeah, me and my sister was riding around today, and like you said, the people that still wearing the mask, it's 100 degrees.
You embarrass me. You embarrass me as a human, as a person with a brain. When I see people still doing that, I'm like, what the hell? I'm at the daggone farmer's market. This brother had on heavy daggone gloves, leather gloves, and a freaking heavy daggone face mask on. And I was like, look at this idiot. Do you see him? He's got on gloves and a daggone face mask. What the hell is he afraid of? Has he not even read how a virus is transmitted? What an idiot. What an idiot.
And would you say, okay, so if you're going around in your daily life, just going to the store, get gas, whatever, would you say that the majority of Negroes you see have on the mask?
Yeah, unfortunately, I would say the majority do.
Yeah.
Yeah, the majority do. More you don't and you don't see the other races as much. You
Right.
know, of course Hispanics do because they're scared they're going to be deported or whatever. But but yeah, we are by and large wearing these things. With the rare occasion you see some without, but we're still wearing them as if we're thinking that this thing is floating in the. It just makes me think that we're so ignorant that we actually believe that in the bright shining sun of God's good earth, that this virus is out there flying around. Just willy-nilly, just in the daggone air particles. That's what we believe. We don't understand disease or not anything, and everything's in our phone. Everything's Googleable. It's so sad.
I mean, if you just think about it, see, that's what's throwing me off. If you just think about it, just use shit that you've learned. Up, down,
Right.
left, right, wet, cold, wet, dry, hot, cold. I mean, damn.
And who's going to have the better immunity? Somebody who covers themselves off from all diseases and germs, or the person who has exposure to germs and has built up an ability naturally to fight them off? Who's better? Who's better off? It's insane. It's insane and sad because they're already zombies. They're already daggone just robots. Turn me on. I'm just a robot.
Okay, so you say giving no, so you say giving consent.
Right.
What are some of the things we shouldn't be consenting to?
We should consent to nothing. Right now, the way things are today, everything. First of all, we sit up there and we post all kinds of cute little memes and stuff on our daggone timelines, and we do that. But we have an actual avenue to protest things on those same social medias. Biden comes on live almost every other day now. I'm the only one on there telling him he's a damn asshole and telling him he's a liar and doing that. Ain't nobody else but a few white people out there with me. I'm the only one. But all these so-called indigenous people, they have all these daggone things that they feel so strongly about, don't voice anything to anybody but each other. Biden is on the Facebook almost every other day. You could actually voice things that you are concerned about to him. You can actually protest to him. But nobody's doing it. You got Twitter. You can tweet him. You can IG him. You can reach out to all your representatives in government on a daily, hourly basis. You have that ability in your hand, literally. But you're not using it. You're too busy liking somebody's funny cartoon about, a dog or, their, whatever, somebody's cute little outfit or their birthday, but you're not using the power that's in your freaking hand, in your pocket, in your purse. That's a fail. That's a fail. We don't even have to go march. We got power right in our phone. Just use the app. Facebook app. You can reach out to any powerful politician you want to. You can reach out to Senate. You can reach out to corporations. You can reach out and make your opinion known. Okay, this is good. What is? This is my sister, right?
Yes.
Okay. Tell me what she's saying. Change the subject. When we look at the civil rights in 50s and 60s, it does not relate to where we are now. They had leaders that both blacks and whites agreed that were leaders. I'm not sure that they even make leaders like that anymore. Followers are not the same anymore either. Blacks were taught to have their own personalities. It seems that people don't follow and cannot lead. This is a different day. Let's read that again. It seems that people don't follow and cannot lead. This is a different day. What do you think of that? Wow.
When somebody got your foot on the neck, every day is the same. I don't get it. If you walking around on your land and somebody tell you, nigga, this is private property. If they did that in the 40s and 50s and they doing it now in the 20s, it ain't no different day. The different day is that it is less of us. It's not that many of us because
less of us. Right.
we willingly, like Lisa say, we consent to give our lives away for little or nothing. We'll send our children to the military tomorrow. Right. And then get pissed off because the country you fought is now running the economies in your neighborhood. What? Right. Different day? This was planned back in the 50s and 60s. Right. This just didn't pop up overnight. No, this is definitely very well planned and plotted. What is happening today? Yes. What's different about today is that, like she say, we consent. Mm-hmm. We cool with it. Yeah, and we are really in love with our distractions. We're in love with our distractions of whether our TikToks and our daggone, funny videos and our freaking, television news, and we're in love with those. And our Netflix, we're in love with our distractions, and our distractions carry us away, and we want to be carried away. Calgon, carry me away. We want to be carried away, and we don't want to focus on the problems, and we're comfortable enough. That's the other thing. We're comfortable enough right now that we don't feel pressed to do anything about it. But baby, it's changing. Change is gonna come. It's about to come because people are gonna be mighty uncomfortable real quick. This world's about to change big time. Big time. They're saying that we're gonna be worth no money because they are making it happen. They are making it happen. It is in the plan and it's going to happen. They want us to have $0. You can feel it. Yeah. And that's what I mean. I go talk to brothers and some of these people who call themselves chiefs. What's up? What are we doing? I hear all these cats yelling, chief, 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 chief.
Yeah.
You ain't doing a goddamn thing.
Not a thing.
Don't even think about. I mean, you can't even get these brothers to sit down and talk about, yo, man, what should we be doing? Because we see what's coming. Somebody can start an argument. When there wasn't even any room for an argument.
Right.
So, so is that the different day where you see where those men in the 50s and the 60s, they saw a problem and they confronted it and they ruffled some feathers about it? Because today we seem like we just want to make the problem worse.
They didn't consent. They didn't consent. And to put it on another example, just within being a nurse, in the hospitals, when I started as a nurse, they were badass nurses. They would not let, first of all, they were strong advocates for their patient. If a doctor was doing something that wasn't right, we were at checkpoints. We were like, hell no, you're not going to give them that. That makes their heart rate go this way. Oh no, you're not going to do that. That doesn't work on them. No, you're not going to do that. We need this. We need that. And if they try to get us to do some stupid stuff that didn't make sense, we were like, no, we ain't doing it. And it didn't happen. Because that's what happens when you band together and you say, I do not consent. You change things. It's just that simple. They can't do it without your consent. That's the thing you don't understand. They can't do it without your consent. Your consent is your power. They can't do it.
And I'm saying,
but we give our power away, right?
Give it away.
Give it away.
Don't want it.
No, thank you.
I don't need it. I mean, serious.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, because I try to be just straightforward with people, and they don't like that. They like you to play games and lie and bullshit.
Right.
We've gotten accustomed to that.
Right.
Talking, straight facts.
Right.
So in the perfect world, we pull all of our children out of the school and start our own school, however we do it. That's what the people who are the educators in the community have to come up with. Let's just pull the battery out they back. We won't do it.
I don't understand that.
Even when we see what's coming, because if you don't see what's coming, you're gone.
If you don't understand what's coming, there's something really wrong.
There's some, because it's you can feel it for one. Something.
I mean, yeah, you should be able to feel it.
Yeah. Something exists.
You should be able to hear it. They're telling you. They're telling you. They're telling you. Right?
They're
saying it's what is it? The New Americas, what is it? the committee, what is it called? Something for the New American. Everything's about the New Americans. It's not about you. Do you hear them tell you that? It's New Americans.
And I forget the lady, when you read, you forget books and stuff and it just all becomes a blur. But I remember reading this book back in the 80s, and this lady was saying, she said, we about to change this. This is we're implementing what's happening now. And we won't
she
even
was planning it.
It was in I'll give you an example. Margaret Sanger. Sanger.
Yeah.
You don't think they had plans to turn the community gay?
And also decrease the population. Yeah.
That is increasing the population. Because when you don't have kids, your numbers go down. And we got to think about the people. See, this is another way they get us too, because we don't pay attention. You remember a cat named Jim Jones? took all those people down to South America and killed them.
Yeah.
So I get into with brothers who don't think at all. And I'm like, no, they killed more than 900 people. No, you lying, man. It's not. I'm like, dude, how many kids would have been born to those people who were murdered and their children?
Yeah.
You just, and that's what I mean.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's good. That's right. That's right. I ain't think. Yeah, that's that Carrie thinking. See, that's the brain.
No, it ain't. It ain't
the brain. The brain, Carrie. That's what. Yeah, that's right. You're right. You're right. That missed me. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it ain't no. You just told me that some dude slapped your grandson and you jumped on it like you were his mama.
Right.
But you was grandmama, but you are his mama. But
right. Yeah.
Same thing. It's not Carrie thinking. We all think like that. It's like you said, we just don't open our mouths and say shit.
Right.
We don't. We cool with it. We get going on and get along.
Right.
If somebody's doing some dumb shit, we should everybody should call them out.
Right.
I mean, and the dumb shit that's going on in the community, it should even got this far. You see
a kid acting stupid. We used to correct them children in the neighborhood. We used to correct them, and the mothers used to thank us. Now the mothers want to kick your butt for saying anything to their child. You see, that's the difference. We need to stop this. We need to stop that. We let fathers knows best and all this stuff and the Brady Bunch brainwash us into thinking that's how we need to. Oh, I don't want to spank my child. I don't want to touch my child. I don't want to say this. I don't want to say that to my child. No, that's not how we do things. Because some of us are really hard-headed and we need to be told very sternly. And sometimes we need more than that. And you need to correct the stuff when you nip it in the bud. If we nip things in the bud, it wouldn't become a monster. It won't go out of control. But when you're silently consenting, then they're like, I got away with it. I got away with it. What else could I get away with? And that's what everything.
They do.
That's what everything.
That's what everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, Lisa, I know you got to get ready to barbecue tomorrow for Juneteenth.
I'm just glad that I didn't kill the chickens. That's all.
So listen, group. So this is really what we should be doing. So like this sister right here is getting chicken and ducks and growing them, so they and
turkeys.
So they can reproduce, like we should be doing. Because when you go back to your great-great-grandmothers, they weren't having kids or children. They were having hands because they got two with the one. They got two for one. They had a whole different way of thinking because they was into nature big time. They wasn't into this artificial matrix.
Right.
They looked at the animals. They looked at the ants. They saw how nature produced and did things, and they copied that. What's called the African American now is totally away from that. Totally.
Right.
Won't even go swimming. Hates water. I mean, think about it. Hates water. So these are the people who are going to be picked off first. They're not. These are the people who wear masks now. Notice that the people who have nothing in the natural world, they wear masks and they do a whole bunch of dumb shit.
Right. Not built for survival. You're not built for survival. Yeah. You're not built for survival.
So Lisa, close us out tonight with this. We just gotta. We always give consent. Can you give us a couple of ways where we can shut, do something where we can shut stuff down where everybody can see it?
Like I said, use your social media with purpose. Let Biden know that you're not about this whole new Americans agenda. You're not about this immigration agenda. You know, let him know he needs to do something for the indigenous American Indians. Speak out about what you care about. Okay, instead of just criticizing each other, you know, go to the people that need to know that you're here. They need to know that we exist. They need to know that we don't consent. You know, it's talking amongst yourselves only works amongst yourselves.
Okay.
That's it.
Well, thank you guys for joining us tonight. We really appreciate it. We just want to get some ideas out there. So hopefully you can pass on and spread to people around you, because we can see it coming and we hope that you can see it too. So we'll see you in a
Yeah.
couple of days. You guys have a good night and have a better weekend. Peace.